Hey everyone, welcome to my new video in which I'm going to discuss about that how can we take input from the user. So I am going to write the first code. This is a single line and it is the simplest code I can say. I have taken the variable a. It is very important to take the variable because whatever the data we are taking from the user will store in the variable. So here is the variable. You can name your variable according to your data or according to yourself. Then assignment operator. Then input and in parenthesis. You can write anything. Like you can write anything which you want to show the user. Like the thing which is written inside the parenthesis will be available for the user to see so that the user can see the line and enter the value according to the thing we have asked for. But mind this, like whatever you want to write, it should be written inside the double quotes or single quotes. So here is our first line, and this is the format how we can ask for anything for any data from the user. Like a is equals to input in parenthesis and inside the double quotes enter a value. I have written enter a value. You can write according to yourself and your data. Like I will take many more examples also so you can see that how we can take different type of things inside the parenthesis. So this will ask for the input from the user, and here input is the function which works to take the data from the user, or we can say that it works to ask for the data from the user. So here input is the function and inside the parenthesis we have written the line which we want to show the user. Now the second example I am taking is I have taken the variable name. Name is a variable which will store the data and is equals to input and in parenthesis what is your name inside the double quotes. So when the user will run this program, then the user can see like there will be a line what is your name. Then the user can fill his or her name according to our question that we ask. So this is the one line code and ask for the user for their name and stores it in the variable that is name. I have written this in the comments so you can understand, and you can also write the comments. I have discussed that why we write comment in my video on the topic of comment. So this is the code which is asking for the name of the user, and the user will give his or her name which will store in the variable that is name. Now if you want to print this variable, then simply you can write print name. I have discussed this, that this is the print function which prints anything which we put or we described inside the parenthesis. So we have written print and in parenthesis name, so this will give us the output name. And name of the user is stored in this variable, so the output will be the name of the user. So when you will run this code, the first line you can see is what is your name, as I said. So the user will read this line and will enter or will write his or her name. I am writing here Kashish, and after writing the name, the user have to press the enter key. After pressing the enter key, our output will be Kashish. As I said, like the print and in parenthesis name code will give us the name, whatever the user has given us as the input. As the data given by the user will be stored in the name variable and we are printing the name variable. So the name given by the user, that is Kashish, is came as the output. Moving to the next code. This is the same code as the previous one, but here I have uh, written the print line a little differently. Like when you will build any program or when you will build any type of code like for any type of user or your program is specific, object is specific, then you can write different types of thing as I have written here in the print in the fourth line. So the upper line, that is the first line, and the second line is the same as the previous one, as I have discussed. In the fourth line, I have simply write the line that is print the function, and inside the parenthesis I have written hello inside the double quotes to take it as a string plus name. Name here is the variable, and then plus again, and in double quotes exclamation mark. This will give us this will give me the output like hello Kashish, and in the last exclamation mark. This is catenation. I will discuss catenation in my next video. But if you are not understanding this, then I have also written a way in the comment like print and in parenthesis hello comma name comma exclamation mark. Mind the double quotes. When I have used the variable name, I don't have to use the double quotes. But if I want to write any string which I want to print in my output, then I have to write that string inside the double quotes. So keep this in mind while printing anything. So you can write the fourth line or you can write the fifth line. Both will work as the same. But the fourth line is the example of catenation. I will discuss this in my next video. And the fifth line is a simple line which works normally and same as the fourth line. You can write any one of them. So now if you will run this program, again the output will be what is your name. So and after entering the name, as I am entering Kashish here, you will press enter, and here the output will be hello Kashish and exclamation mark, as I have said. I hope you all understand. Now I am taking another example. It is also same as the previous one, but here I have extend my code with one line. Like here the first line is same as the previous one, name is equals to input and enter your name. And also I have changed the line inside the parenthesis of input function, as I want to ask the user for the name. So I want to show the user like I am asking for his or her name. So write the line according to yourself, whatever you want to ask. In the next line, I have written print hello plus name plus exclamation mark and welcome to the world of programming. This is my code. I have extended it simply. I have only written a line extra, that is welcome to the world of programming. It is same as the one I have discussed in my previous example. So, and in the third line, I I have written print and in parenthesis type and in parenthesis name. I think I don't have to discuss it again, as I have taken a lot of examples in my previous video on the function type and on the function print. So this code, the code in the third line will simply give me the type of name as the output. So, and also I have written in the comment, this will show the data type of the variable name for you to understand it in more better way. So first I want to tell you that this input function will take the data from the user, and whatever type of data the user give us, the input will always take it as the string data type. Always. Just remember this, that if we simply have written input and in parenthesis whatever you want to write, this input function takes any data from the user in the string data type. Either it is any alphabet, letter, or it is any digit, anything. And so to show this, I have written the third line so that you can see that the input function take anything in the string format. I will run this code again, enter your name will come, and I have write Kashish. After pressing the enter key, here my output comes. Hello Kashish, welcome to the world of programming. As I have written in my parenthesis of the print function, and the output of the third line is class str. Class str is showing that the Kashish is of string data type. As I said, next example I am taking is of age. Like I have taken the variable age is equals to input how old are you. How old are you I have written so that the user can understand that I am asking for his or her age. And in comment I have also written for you to understand that the upper line, that is the line 1, is asking the user for their age, and that age or that data given by the user will store in the variable age. And in the fourth line I have written print, and in parenthesis you are in the double quotes so that it will come as a string, comma age, as age is the variable so it don't want any type of double or single quotes to be printed, and again comma, and again years old. It will give me you are dash year olds. Dash will be any type, will be the data which will be given by the user at the time of running the program. And in the fifth line I have again write the code print type age. Like I want to print the type of age as the output. And in the comment I have written also this will show the data type of the variable age. I think you can understand. In case of any query you can ask me in the comments also. So when I will run this code, first the user can see how old are you. Now the user have to input the data about his or her age. I am writing here 21, then I will press the enter key, and after pressing the enter key my output will be shown like this. Like the print, like the print line will show this output like you are 21 years old as in my code, and the last line will show me the output as class str, which is the type of 21. As I said, input always take the data in the form of string. Either it will be any alphabet or letter or it will any digit. So in the previous example, I have given the data kashish, and the type of kashish is a string. And here in this example, I have given the data 21 as a user, and again the type of 21 is string because I am using input function for taking the input from the user. And as I have said, input function always take the data from the user in the form of string. I think you have understand now, like whatever I'm saying about the input and the type of data which the input function takes. Simply you have to understand only one thing, that the input function takes any type of data from the user and stores it in the form of string data type. But if you want to change that data type, you have to use typecasting, which I have discussed in my previous video. So again I am taking the example of age, and here I have used the typecasting for changing the type of age. Like in my previous example I have simply taken the input by using the input function. So the type of the age was a string, but here I have typecast that age variable. I have written simply age is equals to input int, age is equals to int input how old are you. So this line will also take the input from the user by the help of input function. But here also I have used the int with parenthesis, and this int will typecast the whole input which I have taken from the user in the data type integer. So here I have used the typecasting method as I have discussed in my previous video. If you have not seen that video, you can go and watch like how we can do the typecasting. I have discussed that if you want to typecast anything into integer data type, you can simply write int parenthesis, and in parenthesis you have to write the thing which you want to convert, the thing whose data type you want to convert. So this is the simple line I have written in the code which will take the input from the user of his or her age and convert its data type from string to integer. In comment I have written about this line, that is asks the user for their age and stores in the variable age. In the fourth line I have written print you are age years old, which is the same as the previous example, and the fifth line is also same as the previous example. So when you will run this code, then the user can see how old are you, and again I have to, or again the user have to enter his or her age as the data. I have written 21 here, and when I will press the enter key, then the output will come you are 21 years old. And here the output of the fifth line is class integer. Like I have used the typecasting. So now the data type of that age variable is changed from the string data type to integer data type. So here the type of the variable age, which contains 21 as its data or its value, is now integer data type. I hope you can understand now. The next example I am taking is again of age, but here I have used the typecasting not for the integer data type but for the float data type. Simply I have written here age is equals to float input how old are you. In input how old are you will simply take the input from the user about his or her age, and the function float parenthesis will do the typecasting for whatever the data user will give from string to the float data type. And again I have mentioned in the comment the same thing, that is the work of the first line. And in the fourth line I have used the function print you are age years old similarly in my previous example, and my fifth line is also the same as the previous one. Now I will again run this code, and similarly I will write 21, and when I will press the enter key, output will come. But here you have written the float, you have written 21. In integer it is the same as 21, but in float, the float accepts the digits or the numbers which is in decimal form. So here, as we have done the typecast in float data type, so here the output will be like you are 21.0 years old. As we have done the typecasting in float data type, so it will write 21 as 21.0. 21 and 21.0 both are the same, but as we have used the float data type, so this output will be like this. And the output for the fifth line is class float, which is telling us that now the age variable is in float data type, that is 21.0, which is in decimal form. In my next example I have taken the variable money. Now I have changed my example. Here the variable is money, and after the money I have written money is equals to float input how much money do you have. This line is asking for the money which the user have. So simply input will take the data from the user, and float will convert its data type from string to float. In the fourth line I have written print you have rupees comma money. You have rupees is inside the double quotes as this is the string which I wanna print in my output, and money is a variable so it don't need double quotes. In the fifth line I have written print type money. The fourth line will give me the output you have rupees and whatever the amount the user have given us as the data, and the fifth line will give us the type of money, that is the type of the amount which the user has entered as the data. And yes, so we will run this code and here is the output. First, how much money do you have will come. User will read this line and will enter the amount of money he or she has. I have entered here 21, and then when you press enter key, then the next two line are the output which come. You have rupees 21.0. Here the output is 21.0 because we have typecast this data into the float data type. Thus, if you enter a value which is an integer form, then the float typecast will convert into a decimal form, as the float data type converts only the decimal numbers. So I have entered 21 here as the amount of money I have, but the Python or the interpreter will read it as 21.0 because I have typecasted the data type from uh, string to the float data type. Thus, it is in the form of 21.0, that is the decimal form. And the next line is class float, that is that this line is showing that the 21.0 is in the float data type. So this is the concept of typecasting, which I have also discussed in my video of typecasting versus type conversion. And so it's overall this is the concept that by using the input function, we can take the input from the user, and if we want to typecast, then we can use int or float as the function to typecast the data type. Otherwise, the input function will take the data in the string data type. This is it. And again, I have run this program, and now this time I have entered the value 345.6. This is a decimal form, a number in a decimal form. So this do not have to change. So the Python will read it as it is, and our output will be you have rupees 345.6, and the next line class float as expected. Now I am writing a line to let you understand some more facts. So here is my one line code, that is name is equals to int input, enter your name. I am asking here the user for his or her name by the input function, and I have typecasted the data of his or her name into the integer data type. Now this line will give me an error. As I have discussed in my the video of typecasting and type conversion, I have discussed that uh, we can only typecast the literals which are available for typecasting, like which can be converted from one data type to another data type. But we can't convert the string data type into integer, like we can't convert characters or alphabets into integer format because these are the incorrect literals for converting into integer format. Integer do not contain any type of letter or alphabet, so it can only contain the digits. Either it will be negative, positive, or the zero. So this will be a wrong code, and this will give us the error. When I will run this error, when I will run this code, first enter your name will show, and I have entered Kashish here. And after pressing the enter key, here is the output I have, and this is the value error as I have said. Like the value error is saying invalid literal for int parenthesis with base 10 Kashish. So here we entered the data Kashish, which is a wrong, which is an invalid literal for the integer data type. Like if we have entered 21, 23, or any type of digit, then it can convert it into the integer format, integer data type. But here we have entered Kashish, which contains letter or alphabet, so it can't be converted into the integer data type or integer form. I have discussed everything in my previous video, so I think I don't need to explain it anymore. If you haven't checked my previous video, then you can go and see. Now I am making a program, a normal program, by combining two or three concepts, like the concept of typecasting and the concept of operator, and the concept I explained in my today's video, like how can we take input from the user. So this is the program for storing students' name and marks. I have mentioned this in the comment in my first line. And in the next line, I have written name is equals to input and in parenthesis enter your name. This line is asking for the name from the student, and also this line will store the name of the student in the string data type. As here we do not have any type of typecasting, and this is a normal input function. Now in the fourth line, I have written marks 1 is equals to int input, enter your mark in maths. Like I want to ask the user, or I can say the student, for the marks of his and her in the maths subject. So, so I have written the line in the parenthesis of input so user can read and understand that what I am asking from him or her. So yes, this is my line, and I have typecasted the data in the integer data type. So I have used int and parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis input, and the parenthesis of input I have written the line which I want to show the user. This will ask the user for the marks in maths, and it will typecast the data in the integer data type. Similarly, in the fifth line, I have taken the variable mark2, and the line is saying int input enter your marks in physics. And in the sixth line, I have taken the variable mark3, and similarly int input enter your mark in chemistry. I have respectively asked for the marks in math, physics, and chemistry and typecasted the data in the integer data type and stored in the variable mark1, mark2, and mark3 respectively. This is the thing, this is the concept which I explained in today's video. And now I am using the operators which I have explained in my video of operators. I have taken the variable total is equals to the assignment operator, and then mark 1 plus mark 2 plus mark 3. Here mark 1, mark 2 and mark 3 are the variables, and I am adding all the three marks together by using the plus operator. Plus is the operator, and here I can say mark 1, mark 2 and mark 3 are the operands which are taking perform in the operation of addition. So mark 1, mark 2 and mark 3 means the data which will be entered by the user or the students will be added and stored in the variable total. Next, in the line ninth, I have created a variable percentage equals to, and after equals to, total forward slash 300, and out of the parenthesis asterisk 100. This is the way for doing the percentage. I think everyone can understand this. Like the total upon 300 into 100. This will find the percentage of the student of the three subjects. We can also write this the in another format which I have mentioned in the comment in the same line, like percentage is equals to total upon 3. When you will cancel the 0, you will simply get total upon 3, or you can write total upon 300 into 100. Both are the same thing, so you can use any one of them. And here I have assumed that the subjects have the highest marks 100. I have mentioned this in the comment. Now I have asked for the data, like I am printing the data. Simply I can say in the 12th, 13th and 14th line. So I have written print name colon comma name. Name colon is the string which I want to be shown in my output. So I have written it in the double quotes, and then name. Name is the variable which I want to print. So it will give the name of the student which the student have entered or which the user have entered. Like this program can be used by a teacher to fill the student details. So the user can be teacher or the user can be student. Both of them can use this program, or anyone can use this program simply and ask for the details. So here I have written the line 12, 13 and 14th to get the data from this program. So simply I have used the print function for printing first the name in the 12th line, and in 13th line I have printed total marks comma total variable, and in the 14th line I have printed the percentage. Now I will run this code, and first this line will come. Enter your name. Then here I have entered Kashish as the data. Then when I will press the enter key, next line will come, which is saying enter your mark in maths. Now I have entered 89.7. This give us an error, a value error. Why? Because you can see that I have typecasted the data in this code in the integer data type, but I have give the data in the marks in maths line in the decimal form. So the float data type only contains the decimal form. The decimal form do not came inside the integer data type. So this is showing the error. Like this is also an invalid literal for to be stored in an integer data type, as integers do not contain numbers in the decimal form. So here you can't give the marks in maths, chemistry, physics, or any one of the subject in the decimal form, because the typecasting is in int, that is integer data type. So only you have to write the data in the integer format so that it can be a correct literal to be stored in the variables. So yes, again I have run the code. I have write the name Kashish and again enter. And this time I have written the marks 89 only. This is the correct. This would be a correct literal for the integer data type, as 89 is an integer. I think everyone can understand this. Now writing 89 as the marks in math, I have pressed the enter key. The next line is showing enter your marks in physics. I have filled 90 here. Again pressing enter key, and the next line is showing enter your marks in chemistry. Now you will write your marks according to yourself. I have written 87 here. Now I will press the enter key and my whole output will come. Here is my output. That is the name Kashish, total marks 266, and percentage is 88.666, and so on. This is the output. So this is a simple program which I wrote so that you can understand like how can we use different types of concepts together to form a program, to write a program. And similarly when we will learn different types of data, different types of operations, different types of methods for different types of things in Python, then you can create a more effective program in future. um, so continue on this channel, you will learn many more things to do with programs. Now if you want that you want to write the marks of math, physics, and chemistry in the decimal form. Like marks are generally in the decimal form, these are not the accurate values. So if you want to fill the marks in the decimal form, then you can typecast into the float data type. Here I have changed the data in the fourth, fifth, and sixth line, and I have typecasted the data of marks, mark 1, mark 2, and mark 3 into the float data type. And again I have stored in their variables respectively. Now again I will run this program similarly like the previous one, and now I have entered the data in the decimal form and as well as in the integer form. For the float data type, I can enter the data in integer form because it will read it as the 89.0. So it is correct. But for the integer data type, we can't write the data in decimal form because it will take it as an invalid literal. Now if we will run this code, then the output will come and there will be no type of error in this code. This is the typecasting and operation operator, and like how can we ask the user for data. Here all the topics of small things I have covered. Now you can create a small programs related to operators or asking user for data. I will give you some questions tomorrow so you can solve it, and you will see that how things are working. Thank you for watching. Follow for more.